Good one.
I didn't know how to start the show.
You said you were ready.
So we're back. I am in the middle of a break in our tour. What have you been up to? It's been a while.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a while for you. Definitely. Hasn't been too long since our last episode, but yeah, we finished talking about Obi-Wan last episode, and so now we're just gonna go back to our regular formatted format.
Do we have a format?
I mean,
Sort of.
not talking about an episode of a TV show every week, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Especially one that David hasn't even seen.
Uh-huh. So your lease is up soon, isn't it? Sorry, I'm changing the topic really fast, but
It's soon-ish. Yeah, so I've hinted at some of the problems I've had at this apartment on this show.
Well, I noticed today that your bathroom door doesn't shut anymore.
Yeah, it's just like one thing after another, either breaks or like something stupid happens. So yeah, the latest one is my bathroom door just doesn't latch. So when David goes pee, I can peek.
Yeah. It was a freeing experience using the bathroom for sure. Opening the barn door and letting all the animals
Oh no, not that again. Where's Nate when we need him?
I know, right?
Yeah, so they were gonna raise my rent here by like $250.
It should be going down by $250.
Yeah, so if I'm gonna pay that much, I'm just gonna go find somewhere else that, like, I'd rather pay that much for somewhere that is nicer, you know?
For sure.
And finding an apartment in this city is insane.
It's a tough time to find somewhere to live in general right now.
Yeah, so I'm moving to a different area that's a lot nicer. The apartments are like really nice. They're fairly new, and it'll be more expensive for me, but the benefits will be definitely worth it.
For sure. I feel like you could find somewhere better than this. Not that I mean, the apartments, I feel like they just, if they would have kept up like what they're supposed to do as landlords, basically, this would be a really nice place, but they haven't. So that being said, I feel like you could find somewhere just as good or better for the same or less money, but I know the market's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, even places that I looked at last year that were like a little bit less than this place ended up like now they're like $200 more than that. It's ridiculous.
We bought, Natalie and I bought our house in 2020, like right around the same time we got married. It was right before we got married, October 2020. I think we bought the house in July or August of 2020. Mm-hmm. Just a little, like 950 square foot house. The market was starting to get really crazy, and everyone, like our parents, everybody was like, don't buy in this, like prices are too high. It's too competitive. Like everybody's trying to buy, just wait and buy later. But we needed somewhere to live. So we bought our house. We bought it for $120,000. If I turned around and wanted to sell it tomorrow, it would be on the market for an hour and we would have already made like $40,000 on it. So I'm so thankful.
Yeah.
We bought it when we did.
Yeah, that's crazy. The house market is weird.
Yeah, it's bizarre. I don't think it's ever really been like this before, or at least not for like the reasons it is the way it is. But this isn't a topic I know much about, which is, I guess, on par for this show. But I don't think you know that much about it either.
Nope, not at all.
So anyways, we haven't talked much while I've been out of town. I stay super busy on the road. But you mentioned you've been working on some other projects or videos or something?
Yeah. So, after we finished our last podcast, I was initially trying to figure out what I was going to do for the next podcast episode while you were gone, and then a couple things happened with my one of my other channels, quote unquote. Technically, it's a channel, but it's for the website that I run, JK Hub, for the Jedi Knight games that I've mentioned on the show before. The one that I did the
I'm
interview
following
with.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was already planning on making like tutorials in that game for that game, like learning, because since it's an old game, a lot of its like services are down, like the way you would play like online, you have to do a specific thing to like make it work. And
Yeah.
so finding information on how to do that is kind of hard. And so since most people use YouTube to learn how to do everything nowadays, I figured it was probably good to like try to make videos on how to do a lot of that stuff. So
Nice.
I've been balls deep in making stuff like that. I've got 3 planned. I got one out there because last week, was it last week? Every day is just a blur to me.
This summer's been wild.
Last week was Prime Day, right? So David has been living in a bubble.
And, well, more literally in a van. But
Yeah, a traveling bubble. So last week was Prime Week, or Prime Day week, whatever you want to call it, stupid Amazon. And they released both of the Jedi Knight games on their Amazon Games launcher for some reason, and they gave them away for free for Prime Day. But the multiplayer for both games was just completely missing. And one of the games didn't even launch, like when you tried to play it. So I didn't have to, but I felt obligated to get a video out there as soon as possible, like trying to show people how to install these like community patches.
Yeah, the timing was almost perfect.
Yeah, I got it out like, I don't remember if it was like the next day or what, but it was while it was still, the sale was still going on. So, yeah, and we got a lot of people in the like Discord server like coming in and like asking for more help, and
That's awesome.
Yeah, so
you got like a decent amount of organic traffic to the video?
yeah.
Nice.
I think I haven't checked it since last week, but within like 2 days we had like over 300 views. So.
That's really good for starting something kind of from scratch. I know you're pretty deep in that community, but that's cool. That's a good job.
Yeah. So the next ones are going to be like tutorials similar to that, just showing how to like install the community patches and how to mod the game and stuff like that.
I don't even play the game, and I kind of want to just watch one of these videos at some point.
I mean, it's a tutorial, so it'll just be, I'm not going to show my face. I'm just going to like talk through how to like.
I know, but I just want to see how you did it.
Okay.
But
I try to make them like super simple too, so not like ramble on and on about it. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
So before I came here, did you know I cut my own hair? I've made it to that level of cheap.
Wow.
It's not for any reason other than I don't want to spend money on someone cutting my hair.
Wow.
So I do it myself. So I did that right before I came.
That's kind of impressive.
I have a weird haircut, which is, I guess, another okay reason to do it myself. 'Cause like, I want my hair to look like edgy enough to be in a rock band, but normal enough to blend in with society when I'm home.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. And then Natalie will like touch up the neckline.
I was going to say, like, how would you get the back of your neck?
It's so hard. Well, honestly, it's not that hard.
Over here, like, inspecting
it. Because I can't, and nor do I want to show how I like a video of me doing it. I'll walk you through how it happens.
Probably
So,
looks so weird.
yeah, because it starts by me stripping down to my underwear.
Naturally.
Yeah, I mean, how else would you do it? And then I get a mirror that I can hold in my hand, and then I'll just like basically buzz cut the sides and the back, and then like I have a mirror to see the back. And I'm like trying to like get as close to the other mirror in the bathroom as possible so I can see what I'm doing. And
There's just with like electrical clippers.
yeah, and then
Not
just
like scissors, like
scissor, yeah.
stab. What's that scene?
That'd
There's a
be
scene you're not gonna know.
impossible.
There's a scene in some show or movie or something where it shows someone like trying to cut the back of their head with scissors, and they like literally stab themselves.
Sounds about right.
I forget what that's from.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't even sound familiar. But
That's impressive though.
that's what I was doing before I came here. So
Nice.
yeah, and then I just like scissor cut the top. But
Yeah. I mean, it looks good.
yeah,
I spend like $50 on my haircut, so
that's why I cut my own.
I'm weird about my haircut though.
Yeah, I am too, but I watched someone cut my hair so many times in my life. I was like, I can do this.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I could do it, but I could probably get away with getting a much cheaper haircut nowadays
I think
with how short it is.
I'm sure you could.
But you know, when my hair was like a lot longer,
Yeah.
and it was like a very particular
That's how I've always
cut,
been.
I would always have to go to someone, and I just only trust her to cut my hair.
I guess the reason I can get away with doing it is because I just buzz cut the sides and back all at one length. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know why I brought that up, but that's what I was doing right before I came here.
The person that cuts my hair is like a good friend that I've known since I was like in middle school. So like going to see her and like talking to her, like catching up with her is like half of the experience for that. So
Yeah, the lady who cut my hair since I was like 7 probably thinks I died. I just stopped showing up.
or just moved.
Yeah.
I don't think she would think you died immediately.
I think she still cuts Daniel's hair.
That makes sense. Daniel kind of has a particular haircut too.
So you're going to find this surprising. I'm
Yeah.
actually playing a game that's not one of my like 3 regular games
Your
that I always
usuals?
play. Yeah.
Wow. What are you playing?
I've gotten to really enjoy playing Rocket League.
I should have guessed that because I've seen you play that for the last couple days.
Yeah, it's been like every night. I play it with my brother-in-law and their cousins.
Wow.
I'm
Yeah.
so bad.
I've heard it's really fun.
It's a blast. I
Yeah.
think it's one of those games. It's really just fun if you're playing with the right people or if you love the competitive aspect of it.
Right.
I'm at the point I don't like competitive games much anymore. They just stress me out, and I need video games for like relaxing and hanging out.
Right.
So, but it's been a lot of fun. So we've been doing a lot of 4v4, which is just utter chaos in that game. But we should try it as a group sometime, me, you, and some of our friends.
Yeah, I'm always down.
Yeah,
It's
'cause-
free now, right?
Yeah, that's
Because it didn't used to
basically-
be.
Yeah, that's basically why I tried it.
Yeah.
But it's really good. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm down to try.
There's such a huge skill gap in the game.
Yeah.
But I'm still really bad. I'm sure I would be way better than like you or if
Oh, yeah.
other people we play with are just trying it out. But
Yeah,
it
like,
would
the
be
more you
fun.
play it, the better you're going to be at it.
Yeah.
It's like Call of Duty.
Have you been playing any new games?
So my buddy Drew recently got his Xbox back up and working, and he's the one that I would always play Ghost Recon Wildlands with. That was one of those games in my top 10 that we had talked about. It's like the stealth shooter game, and he's obsessed with it. So he really wanted us to get back into it and play there's a super hard mode where you if you die, you have to start all over. And
And is it just basically like one shot and you're dead?
kinda, you can set the difficulty lower, so we do make sure to like have it on the easiest difficulty, because like if you get far enough and then you die, like, and you start over, like everyone else is still at that point. Like it's not tied to the group. So if you have to start over, we're not we're not gonna like start over with you. We're like gonna keep going. So like me and Spencer and a couple other people have been playing with that, and it's such a good game. So we've been playing that, and then every summer I get back into the Elder Scrolls Online,
Nice.
and I've been showing Spencer that game, and he's been getting into it a lot too. So that one's fun to just like go around and like do quests and stuff together. But other than that, I haven't really played anything like just by myself.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't do much single player stuff. We're not really doing like news, but I'm kind of excited to see more about Starfield.
Oh yeah,
from Bethesda. That would be a single player game I might get into.
yeah.
But
We didn't get to talk about that like big reveal that they had, but on this show at least, we texted about it a little bit.
yeah, I'm sure there'll be a lot more news to talk about anyways, because they didn't really release that much, to my knowledge.
Well, they released more than they ever had before.
Yeah, I guess we at
And-
least kind of know what the game is now.
Yeah, and then they said that it was delayed. So it was originally supposed to come out in December, and now it's coming out in like February or something like that. So
Yeah, I'm kind of excited to see more about it, though.
yeah, I think that's something that you'll like a lot.
So, I figured we're planning on making this a little. I've said this before, and then it didn't end up happening, but a little bit of a shorter episode than usual. But we wanted to try to get together to do an episode while I'm home, because I've been on the road for. Technically, the tour started late May, and then we left to be out of town for good, like early June, and the date we're recording is, I don't know when we're releasing it, but July 22nd. And then we're going to head back out here in just a couple days, and we will be gone until mid-September.
I just realized I was so much higher than you. It was really weird. Okay, now we're even. Continue. I was just producer things, you know?
You do a good job with that. But so yeah, so I'll be gone again for another. What is that gonna? That's gonna be like almost 2 months. So we wanted to get at least one episode out while we're together. You never know if we'll do something short or something while I'm on the road, but I kind of doubt it. So we wanted to at least get together just to catch up. But I do have some funny just tour stories.
Yeah.
Now we're at the halfway point of a tour, and it's the weirdest thing. Every time I've been on a tour, like the weirdest, craziest stuff happens.
Right.
And we've not had too much of that on this tour, but we've definitely had some just like funny random stuff that I think
Yeah.
you and other people would find interesting.
Okay.
So I'm going to kind of walk through in no super particular order, just some of the things that have happened on this tour. But for starters, I guess one of the things that's worth mentioning about this tour is that it's just like every other tour I've done since like 2015. We don't have air conditioning in the van, and it's the middle of the summer.
I forgot about that.
I'm so over it. But that's not, it gets better. So kind of what happened, our old van, when we were touring under our old band name Blank Pages, the AC went out on it. Like, it worked for a while, it went out, and it, I believe, probably needed a new compressor, and it was going to be really expensive, and we were making even less money then than we do now. So we were like, we're just going to tough it out, and we did. But then we bought the van that we have now, and this is a whole story for another day. But basically, when we bought that van, I don't think they did it intentionally, but they told us all kinds of things like worked that didn't. And it was another band from out of state that we were friends with. So I just took their word for it. We took the van and left. But anyways, they told us the air conditioning worked. And he was like, it just takes some time to kick in. Like, it'll come in.
Of course.
So, again, we went and got it from out of state. I just took their word for it. I trusted them. And I'm driving this van back home. I'm like an hour down the road, and I'm like, I don't think the air conditioning's going to kick in. And so we haven't had air conditioning since it went out in our old van. I don't even remember when that was. If I had to guess, like 2015 or so.
Yeah, a while ago.
So we just have, almost as long as I've been a musician, I've not had air conditioning in our touring vehicles, which is bad enough. But the van that we have now has got so much bad juju. It got stolen a while back. And then, anyways, we found the van, not a lot of the other stuff. Again, stories for another time. And within like 2 months of recovering the van, the catalytic converter got stolen from underneath it.
Right.
So we had to get a different catalytic converter. Someone put it under the van for us. I guess a lot of times aftermarket catalytic converters can get really hot. And so
Great.
once we're driving for 30, 45 minutes, our feet start to get hot. And just and then once we've been driving, like it's probably 45 minutes, like our feet are cooking. So we don't have air conditioning. Our feet are on fire. And the only way to kind of like alleviate our feet a little bit is to turn the heat on in the van.
What?
So we're touring in the middle of the summer with the windows down and heat on. So that's how our tour is going right now. If you're thinking about being a musician, a touring musician, think again.
Save up for a new van.
I'm finally over it enough. I wanted to buy a different van before next summer, but just with the prices of vehicles right now, especially
Yeah, that's true.
like technically like commercial vehicles, even trading ours in, it's not going to be worth that much because it's not in like great shape.
Yeah.
It runs well, but it's, nothing else about it is in okay shape at all. So I think we're going to be better off putting $2,000 into the air conditioning and stuff like that than trying to buy a different van.
Maybe.
But I am finally over it. I'm going to be getting that fixed before next summer.
Yeah.
So that's something that we've been dealing with the whole tour. Again, so some of these stories are in no particular order, but one of my favorite things that has happened, we were near, I forget what it was called, the city like New Haven or something, Michigan. It's like right on a really nice beach up in Michigan. And we stay at, we have gym memberships at Planet Fitness, so we'll stay at Planet Fitnesses a lot and sleep in the van, and then we'll go to a Planet Fitness or whatever to shower, or we'll sleep in that parking lot or whatever.
Smart.
Again, rock stars. But I really enjoy it. Most people probably wouldn't, but I really enjoy being
I
on
mean,
the
you
road.
wouldn't be doing it if you didn't enjoy it.
No. But so we were in a Planet Fitness, and we were in the locker room, and I was just about to start brushing my teeth, and there's three sinks in this locker room, like all right next to each other. And so I'm at the far right sink, and Daniel's at the far left sink, and then there's a sink in between us. And this guy who's probably almost our age, like mid-20s if I had to guess. Kind of, I hope this wouldn't be like offensive to him, but kind of like gives off like hippie vibes, sort of like free spirited.
Yeah.
But he I think he like had just gotten out of the shower, like probably had like a towel around him or something like that. I can't remember for sure.
Yeah.
My memory is not good. But because he walks towards us from the showers, and he says something to us, like asking us a question, and I couldn't hear him. I was like, what'd you say? And he said it again. I still couldn't hear him. And then he says it again. He says, "Electric Forest?" I was like, "Electric Forest? Oh, no, we're not here for that." So apparently Electric Forest, huge music festival, was taking place like not far from where we were at.
Oh.
And we're like, no, we're not here for that. And he was like, "Oh, cool." So like, I guess he was kind of in town for Electric Forest, and he was wondering if that's why we were there. But it took me a minute to figure that out. Anyways, we get to talking to him for a minute, and he was a super cool guy. And then he takes the third sink, right in between me and Daniel. And me and Daniel both like started brushing our teeth. And then he pulls out a toothbrush to start brushing his teeth. And all of a sudden there's just 3 dudes brushing their teeth at a Planet Fitness. And I even said that. I was like, just 3 dudes just brushing their teeth. Like, and we all laughed. And he was a really nice guy. And at one point, because we got to talking about how like we were in a band, because he mentioned Electric Forest.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, being in a band's a lot like being homeless. And he was like, dude, I live in a van. I was like, we do too. And so we slept in the same Planet Fitness parking lot after that.
That's awesome.
And then we ended up running into him the next day at the beach. We don't usually go around like sightseeing. We usually stay too busy.
Yeah.
But we stopped by this beach, and as we were leaving, we just see some dude running up behind us. "Hey guys!" and like me being me and an introvert, I like didn't even want to turn around to see like
Yeah.
if someone was talking to us, but I did. I took a quick glance and turned back around, and I was like, I hear it again. I was like, "Guys!" I was like, I turned around. I was like, "Oh, it's him!" And his name's Mac, and he's got, I don't remember, like, and I don't need to share exactly what it is, but like his handle has like the word Backpack Mac in it. And I was like, that's perfect for this guy, because we ended up like following each other on social media and stuff.
That's awesome.
But he was super nice. But it's like random stuff like that that only happens on tour, I feel like.
Yeah.
And then my next story, Natalie just randomly lost a toenail and we didn't know how.
What?
Yeah, something that only my wife can do.
It just fell off? Or like it just wasn't there one day?
We're pretty sure so I don't remember exactly what happened, but like she took her shoe off and like something else on her foot was hurting. And then she like took her shoe off and her sock off or whatever to look at it. And I was like, "Oh, my toenail's not there anymore." But that's not even why she was looking at her foot.
Yeah.
But we think she lost it because after a show, there were some kids hanging out that were with the people who put on the concert.
And they steal toenails.
Yeah, apparently that's like a weird thing that kids do now.
Wow.
No, she was doing like gymnastics stuff with the kids. And so we think she probably lost it doing that.
You'd
But
think that would hurt.
I know. If I feel like I'm about to lose a toenail, it hurts really bad.
Wow.
She's so weird. I love her though. I'm going to tread lightly with this one because it's kind of making fun of someone. So we like to throw in cover songs so that because like we're a no-name band, so it's nice when people can sing along to a song that they know.
Right.
So we do mostly originals, but we like to throw in at least like 2 cover songs or something. And one of the songs we've been covering on this tour that we've done before on other tours is "Shut Up and Dance."
Yeah. It's a good one.
Yeah, a lot of people. It's fun. A lot of people know it.
Yeah.
And we were doing this show at a church. We do a lot of our concerts are at churches, and it's a very, I guess, expressive church, I guess is one way you could say it. And they were just super nice people. But so like the way that they would worship like during a worship service is very like vocal and like, you know, hands up, like stuff. They have like flags that they'll wave around, like which is different than how like you and I grew up in church.
Right.
But it's just different. But we were playing "Shut Up and Dance." And I don't know.
Were they worshiping to it?
There's one guy like who just worshiping during "Shut Up and Dance," and you could hear him. I could hear him from behind the drums with in-ears in, just like, "Yes, Lord." And again,
was he singing along, or he was just just assumed that it was a worship song?
I think he just assumed that it was a worship, and we're not a worship band.
Yeah.
We'll do some worship songs, and I guess what probably tripped him up is that like they were worried because we did, and I guess we did this like during their normal service hours. And they told people like this can be a concert, and they were worried during sound checks like it was going to be kind of loud. So we were like, let's do this because it's your normal service. We'll do like a little acoustic worship thing. They had someone who's going to speak and just share a short, like kind of like a testimony. And then we were going to do the normal rock concert after that. So at least like if someone was confused, they would come in, get what they came for, and then the rock concert could be after that. And so like I get how he was kind of in like
that zone.
Yeah. But just seeing somebody just worship their hearts out to "Shut Up and Dance" was one of the funniest things we've ever seen.
That's great. I mean, it could have been a worse song, but at the same time, it's a song that says "Shut up and dance."
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he couldn't hear the words that much.
Aren't the words like all about like a woman and like getting with
shut
someone?
up and dance?
Like yeah.
It's not like inappropriate. But
No,
it's
definitely
shut
not
up
a
and dance
song.
with me.
Shut up and
just shut up and dance with Jesus.
Yeah, shut up and dance with Jesus.
So that was funny, and I feel bad. Like I don't want to make fun of him. Like, but it was so funny. I felt like I needed to share it here.
That's amazing.
So and yeah, we're gonna stop there. So
we could say like, if you do worship like that and like you can worship to anything, then like you do you.
Yeah. And then we'll just make fun of you on the podcast. No, I'm kidding. I'm not like trying to make fun of him, but it was so funny. And then, yeah, I'm going to stop there I'm going to stop. So, something else that happened on tour, we took oh wow, this podcast is already getting longer. So we took a short break. We had a week off, and we took a week off at my wife's cabin in northern Michigan. Got to spend some time with her family up there, have a week off to rest and stuff. Was super cool. So I've got and I think I've mentioned on here before, I've got the Dolphin emulator on my phone. It's like I played some GameCube games with my nieces and nephews and Daniel and some of the other family out there. But one of the days I picked out Mario Party 4 to play the GameCube version with the kids. And like they were willing, but they didn't seem like super excited. So I was like, they'll have fun.
Yeah.
So I did like the shortest game possible, I think, is 10 rounds, which is still a relatively long game. Like it takes probably 45 minutes to do a 10-round Mario Party 4 game.
Yeah.
By probably 4 or 5 rounds in, everyone knew I was going to win. I was destroying everyone. I was getting all the stars. I was winning all the mini games. So I picked this game to play with these kids that had never played this game before, and I am murdering them. And they weren't like super excited to play in the first place. And so they hated it.
Well, isn't there like still a chance they could win? Because like Mario Party can like randomly make.
I had the
someone
most
win.
stars. I had the most coins. I won every mini game. Like it was just stupid.
Maybe it's just the newer ones that are like, if you are like super far ahead, they'll like punish you, and like you probably won't win.
Huh? No, I don't.
Like a lot of people hate Mario Party because of that.
No, on the old ones, like you would get bonus points for stupid random stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just ruthlessly murdered them. So that was fun. We did a show where there were people that helped us load into the concert, and they're just super nice people. This was another church show. The pastor was really friendly. And we found out like after a while, and keep in mind, like load in for us is a big sound system, a big lighting rig, all of our amps, drums, everything. So it's like a lot of work. It's a lot of heavy equipment. And our load in help was super helpful that day. And we found out like halfway through the day that the people that helped us load in were people who attend that church, but they're homeless. And we were like, man, and it was funny because the pastor's like, yeah, like it's a weekday. We had you guys in and you mentioned you could use some help, like loading in equipment. And I was like, who's not going to be at work during the week? It's like, our homeless community. And so they came in and they helped us with that. And we kind of got to know these people, and they were such nice people. And they even, at one point, I can't remember why. I think it might have actually been Daniel mentioned something about how he likes his coffee. And one of the homeless guys went out to like a Dollar General and bought Daniel chocolate syrup and marshmallows to try in his coffee because he was like, it's so good, you got to try this. And I was like, how nice
That's
does a
adorable.
homeless person have to be to buy us something just like out of the goodness of his heart?
Yeah.
Like I joke about being homeless on the road and living in a van. Like we're not homeless. Like we do fine. Like we're definitely considered poor, but the difference of that and homeless is such a gigantic difference. And just the fact that he would do something like that for us, I won't forget that. It was really cool. So that happened. This is I have a video of this happening.
Oh yeah.
So my band Winona Avenue, we started a TikTok right before this tour. And so one of the things we've been having to keep keep in mind on the tour is like getting content for TikTok because we're not used to it. We don't use TikTok personally, like,
Right.
so we've been having to really make an effort to be active on there. So every like show day, we'll try to spend at least a little bit of time thinking like, what kind of video can we make for TikTok? Like, what can we do? And we've been doing like kind of collages on TikTok of just our day to day like stupid stuff we've been doing. And so one of my ideas, we were at Faith Fest, big Christian music festival just north of Lansing in Michigan. And they had this really, they've got great production and they've got these big LED walls. Like they've got one, I think it was on the stage, but then they've got them hanging up like to the sides of the stage. They have them backstage, back like where merch is and stuff so people can see what's going on.
Yeah.
And as we're like talking through stuff, taking some videos, thinking of like, what can we do for TikTok? I was like, what if I just went up and got on the big screen so that like everybody just sees me and I'll just turn around and stare at the camera? And so we did it. And the first time we tried, Daniel messed it up.
Oh no.
So I walk out there, I get front and center in the stage. I turn around so my back is facing the stage and I stare at the camera for about 10 seconds. And then I just walk away. And it was so hard to do because it's so uncomfortable because
Yeah.
there's 2,000 people facing me at the front of the stage.
Yeah.
At this point, an audience member. And I'm just facing the wrong way, staring at a camera. And so then I come back and I found out that Daniel didn't get it because he didn't videotape the big screen. He didn't know that I was already on it. And I was so irritated. So I was like, I mean, it's a good idea. This is going to be funny. We're going to have to do it again.
Yeah.
It was so much harder to do it the second time. Because, like, I have to go back to the same spot.
Yeah.
That, like, and you'll see it in this video that we're about to show. Well, like, I have to walk out, turn around, stand there and look stupid for a second, and then I left. And then this idiot comes trotting back to do it again. I felt so much more stupid the second time. So it didn't turn out nearly as good as the first one would have.
Yeah.
Like, because this time, and you'll kind of see it, I sort of like,
You want me to just
I
play
act
it?
like I'm looking for something instead of just staring at the camera.
Oh.
So it's not as funny.
Yeah.
But this is what we got. That's me saying take two. Because Daniel's an idiot. That's my wife. Hi, Natalie. There's way more people here than what it looks like. There's just not tons right at the front of the stage, but there's a couple thousand people there. Here it comes.
So it's just in the middle of this guy's. Is he singing?
It's like a break in the song. Okay, pause it. Pause it.
Oh no.
That's do you see me? Play it. I chickened out. I did it. I held it for like 4 seconds.
Oh man.
It was so much better the first time. I'm so disappointed in myself.
Oh man.
I felt like I was on an episode of Impractical Jokers.
Yeah. Well, like the blooper reel.
The first time was so much better.
Yeah.
But still funny. We still put that in our little collage thing.
Nice.
I didn't want to play the audio because they're playing music and copyright stuff. But like Daniel's laugh was so funny when I was on the big screen because he was the one videoing.
Yeah.
So we did that. Couple last little points, and then we'll probably need to end this podcast. There was we did just a little Sunday morning worship service at a church one day, and it was just a small church. Like they mentioned, they wanted to bring us in, but they're like, we've really only got like 20 to 30 people that attend on a Sunday. Like it's not going to be worth doing the normal concert. So we were like, well, what if we just stop by and do a little acoustic worship thing for your Sunday morning service? So we did that. So during the service, they did like a scripture reading. So one of those things, but it was one of those things where it's like the pastor or whoever's speaking will read a line, like a verse or whatever. And then when he's done, then the congregation is prompted to read all together the next line. And so they did that. And the person on the stage read the line. And then you've got, again, maybe 30 people in a room, like a church that can fit 200.
Were they all in the front, or are they all like
Kind
spread
of
out?
spread out.
It's the worst.
But so like when it was the congregation's turn to read, like no one knew when to start reading, the tempo to read, like the cadence. Like there's kind of a cadence when you're doing that.
Yeah.
So everybody they got all off. Like everybody's starting at different times. They're all going at different tempos at a different cadence. And then like it kind of like everybody just like awkwardly stops in the middle of it. And then like there's like one or two people that kind of like try to pick back up where they were at.
Yeah.
And then like people slowly kind of like get back in and start reading it again. But I'm up front. We had just played, and then we have to go back on in a second to play more music.
Yeah.
And things are funnier when you're not supposed to laugh.
Oh yeah.
And like I'm not supposed to laugh at that. And I was there were tears streaming down my face. Just and like because I couldn't audibly laugh.
Right.
I'm sitting up front. We kind of sat to the side, but still like up front. It's like I don't want to like come off as disrespectful to the people that brought us in or the people reading or whatever.
Right.
So I'm like dying, trying not to laugh. But it was so funny.
Oh my gosh.
My guess is you've probably seen something like that.
Oh yeah, my grandma's church was like that every Sunday. Like they just didn't know how to read together.
Yeah.
Like, stop doing it if you can't do it. You don't have to. Just listen to the preacher do it.
The only other time I laughed that hard in church was, I can't remember if you were there. I think you went and witnessed it once. But I went to Zach's church.
Oh yeah,
And they, on people's birthdays, they sing this song and they're like, "Happy birthday." And then I would just die laughing.
Because they do it like every Sunday for somebody. So it was like so normal to them.
And to them, it's not, it didn't feel like it was a joke.
Yeah.
Like it felt like this is what we do on people's birthdays.
Like I'm sure like the pastor did it as a joke and always has done it as a joke, but people just think it's normal for churches to do that.
Oh, and we were dying.
Even Zach was like,
Yeah. Oh, he was like crying.
yeah.
So another funny thing that happened, we did a concert at more of like a mainstream music venue, and there were a bunch of bands, and so we had to do, instead of like a normal sound check before a concert, we had to do like a line check. So you know, the band before us gets their equipment off real fast, we throw our equipment on, we do like a quick line check to make sure all of our, you know, microphones and everything are working, and do like a super quick like monitor check, like make sure you have what you need and you go. And so we're at this show, we're doing the line check, and they can't like figure out which monitor my in-ears are in. And it's like they're not changing anything. And I'm like trying to tell them like, hey, like I've got like 3 things in my mix and they're not what I need. And then I just hear them something along the lines of like, "All right, here we go. Good luck." And I was like, okay, we're going now. All right. And so luckily I had kind of what I needed.
Yeah.
I had enough click that I could hear it when other things weren't playing. I had tracks was the main thing,
Yeah.
it's kind of like having a click. So like, because
Yeah, for you guys especially.
Yeah, we're very track heavy. So like the tracks are all, as long as I'm in time with the tracks,
Yeah.
I could hear the click if the tracks weren't going. And that's all I had.
Yeah.
And so we're doing the show. I'm staying on. Everything's going fine. And like halfway through the set, Daniel like starts, because we like to banter at our shows some.
Yeah.
And so Daniel's talking to me, and I'm telling him in my mic, like, I can't hear you. Like, I can't hear what you're saying. And he tried to talk to me again. He's like, I'm like, I can't hear you. All I can hear are my own thoughts, and it's scary. And so the sound person heard that, and they're like, oh, he can't hear Daniel. And so all of a sudden, I guess he found out where my monitor was, because he cranked Daniel's guitar, not his vocals, like his guitar. So now all I can hear when Daniel's playing is his guitar. I'm like, I hope Daniel stays in time.
Yeah.
So then I have to play the second half of the show, like hearing, like
Daniel.
staying in time with the tracks, and then Daniel's guitar comes in and like just destroying my eardrums. But we made it through.
Wow.
And it was that was at a local venue, and they're normally really good there.
Yeah.
And we've gotten to be pretty good friends with the people that run the venue and the sound guy. So
That's good.
I got to harass them about it after the show. So I've got two more stories that are similar. If you're not sick of me talking yet,
Please stop. Just kidding.
I kind of wanted to end on these because I thought they might be the funniest. So
Okay.
I hope that's true. So
You guys be the judge.
This one, the first one's not quite as funny as the last one I've got, but I was walking out of a Planet Fitness, and I think this was like the morning before a show. I had just showered up, was leaving, and I'm like about to open the door, and I hear somebody, they're like, hey, have a good day. And so like before I even turn around, I'm like, oh, thanks, you too. And then like I turn around and I realize like it wasn't the staff telling me to have a good day. There was someone walking right behind me that was also leaving that was telling the staff to have a good day. And so I just butt in as if the guy's talking to me. Like, hey, have a good day. And then we continue to walk out in the parking lot together.
He probably thought you were a moron.
Well, he's not wrong, because something like that ended up happening again. So we just got to a venue, and I had to go number 2. And so we go like downstairs. It's an outdoor show, but they're letting us like inside to use the restrooms and stuff. I go in, the door to the bathroom stalls there, but like it's not connected to anything. It was just leaning against a wall.
Okay.
And so I'm like, whatever, there's nobody else here. I'll just kind of set it kind of in the way so if someone walks in, they don't have to accidentally see me taking a dump. And so I like put the door up, sit down, start doing my business.
Yeah.
And I hear somebody start talking as they walk into the bathroom, and I knew the voice. It was the promoter, the person who hired us for the concert. I don't remember what he said, but I thought he was talking to me.
Oh, no.
And so I responded. And now I'm having a conversation with the promoter while I'm taking a dump, while he's coming in to use the restroom in the urinal next to the stall.
Yeah.
I didn't know that I'd butted my way into his conversation because context clues. I found out he was not talking to me. He was talking to someone else. But now I'm a part of this conversation. And so
Like he wasn't on the phone? It was someone else?
No, he was talking to somebody else, like like Daniel or our sound guy or something
Okay.
as he was walking into yeah, better than if he was on the phone. But I've now butted my way into this conversation while I'm taking a dump, and he's like, I think the conversation was ending
Yeah.
as he walked in, and then I started a new one. And so now, like, he feels like he has to talk to me.
Yeah.
It's like we're talking, and like he's done. I hear him like done washing his hands, but he's still like standing in there talking to me while I'm stinking up the bathroom, doing my business. And I guess I just never learn. People usually are not talking to me.
Just stop assuming.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's first half of tour. That's our update.
Wow. Now, how many of these stories are you going to come back and try to tell again, forgetting that you had already told them?
All of them.
That happens to me all the time. Someone will like tell me a story. Like in my mind, I'm like, you've already told me this story.
That's one of the nice things about being on tour. I see a new group of people every day, and I just tell them the same. It's like being a comedian. You find out like what works and what doesn't, and then you can just say the same jokes and tell the same stories
Right.
every single day.
Yeah.
So luckily, like that doesn't happen too often where I'm telling someone the same thing twice. I don't think.
So far.
The one that Daniel and Natalie always make fun of me for is at most shows, like they'll feed us, and then I'm always like, every time I'm always unless they started beating me to this, they'll say this before me now, but I'm like, oh, you got to be careful. Like we're like stray cats. If you feed us, we'll never go away. And
Something my dad would say.
yeah, it's just stupid. And now, like, as kind of a joke, like Daniel or Natalie will say it before I can. But just stupid stuff like that.
That's awesome.
But I'm looking forward to getting back to doing somewhat more regular podcasts.
Yeah, so you're back in September?
Yeah, mid-September. We're already kind of starting to book the fall, but I don't expect any super massive tours like what this one is.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of looking forward to, and I was kind of mentioning this to you before, like having a chance to, like we haven't really worked on pushing these episodes yet and like promoting ourselves much.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to being home and having the time and resources to do that. So that'll be fun. Hopefully we'll have dozens and dozens of fans.
Dozens. We hope. Yeah.
That's what we're here for, to be famous.
Yeah, so I'm hoping to get some of these other videos on my other channel done, and then after that whole stressful situation is resolved, I will hopefully get at least one episode done before September.
Before you move.
Well, yeah, definitely before I move. But I think it might be related to those games still. I might have a guest for that. So
Cool.
TBD.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I actually, and feel free to let us know if you're watching this. If you're one of the two people that watch us in the comments, or wherever you're watching,
Natalie.
let us know
My mom.
what you think. But I personally have thoroughly enjoyed having guests and just friends on the show, and I think that's something that we might do a lot more of as we continue if people are available and we're able. So
Yeah, I think less often, more guests might be the format we go with.
yeah, but we're not that entertaining by ourselves, so we have to piggyback off of other people.
Right.
So, I mean, Brad's entertaining, but we'll see you next time.